Hello, we're back inside our studio, and today we're actually going to start with section 1 of the assignment. My R studio looks a little bit different. I just increased the text size. Hopefully that will enable me to make the videos a lower resolution and maybe a smaller file size. But we'll see if that works out. So we're back inside. You should be inside the project which you created. Mine was called student folder. Yours will be called whatever you called your folder. And the assignment A students.rmd file should be open. So we've looked at this file a couple of times already. It starts here, it says section 1, before this session RR Studio, knitr, tidyverse packages. Should have been installed. I'm sure by now you have done that. The outcomes for this specific section of the assignment is to understand the study design that produced the population set dataset. So that's a dataset with which we're going to start in this assignment, and it was also in the folder of files that you downloaded from Moodle. Second outcome is to be able to use a few basic R functions to inspect a dataset. So when you read in a dataset in R, it doesn't work like Excel. It doesn't open a spreadsheet and you just look at it the way you would in Excel. Basically in R you can't see it like that, and so you have to have other ways to get to know what your data is all about. We're going to look at that, and then thirdly, to understand what the R functions set seed and sample do. So here again, to refresh your memory, I'm writing it like this to emphasize that this is a function I'm talking about, set.seed, and then followed by round brackets. And when this is now just normal text, but when it's a function that we use in code, then obviously inside the brackets we're going to put something, an object on which we want that function to perform an action. Same for sample. The next heading is overview. So there, if you're reading this, you have successfully installed RStudio. Well done. We will use the following two data files for the assignment: demo data.csv and population set.rds. So those two files should also be inside the same folder in which you saved this assignment file and where you created your project. If they are not there at the moment, you should put them there. You should also not change their file names. Their file name should stay exactly the same as the files that you downloaded, otherwise your code will not work. Okay, we ran this code before just as a demonstration, so this is the first code chunk. But now we're actually going to run it because we need to run it. So I explained packages before, and I explained that it's basically just a group of functions that is sort of put together into like a book or a package, and when we run it in this way, when we say library knitr, then all the functions that's in the package knitr becomes available to us. If we don't do this, those functions will not be available. We have to run this every time at the start of a session. So if we close this RStudio session and an hour later we open it again, then we have to run all those libraries again to make those functions available to us. They will not automatically be available. So you must always do that first before you start a session. So this code chunk at the very top of this file, you're going to run this every single time you open RStudio. So that's what I did now. Remember I said you put your cursor in on the line which you want to run, and then you press Control and Enter at the same time, and then it runs. basically nothing really happens when you run this code, nothing that you can see. The only thing we could see is that there's some messages here. Don't have to worry about that, and we didn't expect anything else to happen.